Everyone calls you when their world is shaking. You're the first person people think of when they need advice, money, help, or somebody to lean on. But let me ask you something honestly. Who do you call when your world is shaking? Because if you've been the strong friend for too long, you've probably noticed something painful. The more reliable you become, the less people check on you. Not because they don't care, but because people get so used to your strength, they forget you can break too. And the truth is, strong people don't usually break loudly. They break quietly while still showing up for everybody else. First, I need you to understand something. Your strength is not random. A lot of people became strong because life gave them no other choice. Some of you became hyper-independent very early in life. You learned that depending on people, you should sometimes expect disappointment. So instead of asking for help, you learned to handle everything yourself. And for a lot of Nigerians, there's another layer to it. The hard guy culture, the strong girl mentality, the pressure to always hold it together, especially if you're the firstborn, the provider, or the one everybody depends on. You were taught that vulnerability is a luxury. So even when you're drowning internally, you still say, it is well. You still show up, still solve problems, still carry everybody. And after a while, people stop seeing you as a human being with limits and start seeing you as the person who can always handle everything. That is the capable curse. The painful reality is that the more capable you become, the less people notice when you're struggling. I once heard a story about a woman everybody called strong. She was the fixer, the dependable one. When her parents got sick, she handled it. Her best friend was going through a divorce. She stayed awake until 3 a.m. listening and comforting them. Everybody kept telling her, I don't know how you do it. You're so strong. You always handle everything. But one afternoon, she went to a grocery store and they didn't have the exact brand of milk she wanted. Just milk. And suddenly, she started crying in the middle of the aisle. Not because of the milk, but because she realized she had been holding herself together for years and nobody had stopped to ask, how are you doing? And that's the thing about strong people. Their breakdown rarely looks dramatic. Sometimes it looks like emotional exhaustion hiding inside ordinary moments. A small inconvenience becomes the final weight on a soul that has been carrying too much for too long. The hardest part about being the strong friend is that people start assuming you don't need support. And after hearing, you're so strong for years, you start believing you have to survive everything alone. So instead of speaking, you stay silent. Instead of resting, you keep mounting pressure on yourself. Instead of asking for help, you convince yourself, I can deal with it. But listen carefully, people cannot support a version of you that never speaks. Many strong people are secretly exhausted because they only know how to carry others, not how to lean on others. You don't lose strength by admitting you're overwhelmed. You lose yourself by pretending you don't need help. Maybe from now on, instead of saying, I'm fine, say, I'm actually